Today marks the most comprehensive, to an extent, I can boldly say 90%, the most comprehensive on justice for Mohbad. I said it earlier. I said the appearance of the nurse, it is going to shed light. It will give confirmation, because the nurse knows that the rope, the hangman rope, it has been placed on her head, and they just need to take the support away, and that's the end of it. So she definitely will not want to be stupid. She will not be too stupid. Recall that Cynthia said, oh, they coached the nurse so that the nurse can come and say things against me, because Cynthia knows that there are certain things that the nurse knows, and there are certain things she's not fully aware of, and she is not sure if the nurse is aware of it. So she quickly gave out that filler, like, the nurse, they said you are going to coach the nurse. How can they coach nurse that has never appeared on any platform, on any social media platform, apart from her mother, talking about 2 injections? And the nurse confirmed that 2 injections were given. The nurse dropped bombshell upon bombshell. You'll be shocked. First, there are certain things that were clarified. 1, Cynthia had said, my father-in-law told the nurse to leave, and that he has no business with the nurse. The nurse said, I don't even know who Mr. Aloba is. I did not see any person that looks like Mr. Aloba. I saw Mr. Aloba only on social media when he spoke on BBC and the rest. I didn't set my eyes on Mr. Aloba, and I was in that place up till 10 p.m. But I saw the mother of Mohbad. Are you guys shocked? Ladies and gentlemen, this is explosive. Now, for the nurse to see Mohbad's mother and not Mohbad's father, what does that tell you? Hell is about to break loose. I'm sure you have your questions. You have a lot inside of you. You are going to get to experience that you have been hoping for a long time. Questions and answers. We've done series of comparing and contrasting Cynthia's statement. Cynthia, Omo, she cannot be Omo, she's Omo. Let it be for them. All those talks here and there, we are going to compare and contrast them together, and we will be breaking it down. Yes, we'll be breaking it down. In this one, you'll be getting the answers to it all. Please like, share, very important. Let this go viral. Justice for Mohbad is now clearer. It is now clearer. It is making sense. It is making sense now. A lot happened. A lot happened. The nurse said something. When I got to that house for the first time, I saw that these people were busy mopping the floor. And I'm like, what are they mopping? What happened to Mohbad? Let's get right into it. Like, share, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell.
Allowing this miscarriage of justice and this broad day robbery to go on, it is a disgrace against the medical professionals, even in Lagos State, that they will watch these lies being made around by these killers. They will allow this false narration being propagated by the killers that want to cover up for missing Adebanjo at all costs. It can never happen. Nobody will react to antitetanus and paracetamol by vomiting. It will not happen. It is a total lie. That was not Mohbad, and Adura was given a script to act like Mohbad, or Mohbad was already poisoned. Why would anybody vomit because of paracetamol? Go and check the literature, paracetamol and its side effects. Go and check it. You will not see vomiting there. Vomiting is not there. And for antitetanus, I've never seen anybody that will vomit as a result of antitetanus. I've never seen it. Not even a child that will vomit because of antitetanus. So, where is the vomiting coming from? The goosebump, they keep shouting about. It is all scripted. The same person that told Wunmi to be mentioning goosebumps is the same person that told the nurse that does not know anything, to also come around and mention goosebumps. So, some medical personnel, some half-baked medical specialists, they have been coaching these killers to come to the public and tell us lies. They have been coaching them to come to the public and try to sell the wrong narrative to us. Nobody can react by vomiting to paracetamol and antitetanus. Let's continue.
She went to the first, second, third one. When she was about to administer the third one, that he vomited. So they know.
As she was about to administer the third one, so she has not even administered the third one, just 1 and 2, and he vomited, according to the nurse.
And the wife, Wunmi, bedroom. They took him to the bedroom to
DJ Bamey and the wife, Wunmi, bedroom. Throughout all this place, no Adura name was mentioned though. Don't forget, Wunmi was lying on the interview that Adura was the one that brought water and poured water on Mohbad. Meanwhile, the nurse said she did not see Adura in the whole house. Where was Adura? Could it be that Adura was the one that played Mohbad while the dead body of Mohbad was already hidden somewhere in the house? Where was Adura when the nurse was treating Mohbad? That is a very big question.
Well, can you guys hear me? Because my network is slow. You get?
We can hear you. We can hear you. You're slow, but we can hear you.
Okay. They took him to the toilet. He vomited. So when they brought him back, she noticed that he had goosebumps all over his body, and she knew that this was a reaction. And she said, she now told the wife that this is goosebumps all over. And the wife said that anytime that he took injection, that he always react to injection. And she told the wife that when you knew that he's always reacting to injection, why didn't you tell me? So she and Bamey went out, were looking for a pharmacy, and what they were looking for is actually a drug, an injection that would subsidize the reaction. So they went to the first hospital. She did not see. They went to the second. He said when they got to the second hospital, I think Bamey had been calling back and forth, and they told Bamey on the phone that he's convulsing. And he was like, shock, convulsing. So by the time they got back.
So Bamey and the nurse, they went out to buy hydrocortisone. And before they even got to where they were buying it, they already called them that Mohbad was convulsing. Mohbad was convulsing.
By the time they got back, she saw from a distance how they were carrying him inside the barn, inside the...
Now, the nurse saw them from the distance that they were carrying Mohbad. So the nurse did not get close to them to actually know that the person she treated was the one being carried. They carried Mohbad like a baby. He was already dead. They carried him. They packaged Mohbad into the car. The nurse was looking at them from afar. She did not know. Maybe the person she gave the injection was the one they were carrying out. Don't forget it.
inside the
They packaged Mohbad already. They did not even wait for the nurse to come back. They packaged Mohbad into the car. Mohbad that they could not take to the car, they could not take to the hospital for almost 24 hours before the nurse came. But as soon as the nurse gave the injection and said he was reacting, that was when they now remember to carry him. They could not wait for the nurse again. The nurse that was their savior, that they were waiting for 24 hours. But as soon as the nurse and DJ Bamey went out to buy some things, they've carried Mohbad into the car. They've packaged Mohbad. Before the nurse even came back, they quickly packaged the real Mohbad, the dead one, the one that has been dead. They quickly packaged him into the car. Please, Emma Fokabalo.
car. So a lawyer asked that, when he saw him, was he alive or he was dead? How did they carry him? Or did they carry him like somebody that is about to die? So she could not actually answer that. She was fluctuating. And the truth is this, the nurse was actually...
She could not answer that because we heard that Mohbad died in the house. Yes, but Wunmi said he got to the hospital and after 20 minutes, the doctor came back and said, we lost him. We heard another story. The driver, the neighbor, was the one driving the car. And when the driver now looked back, he saw that, oh, Mohbad is 222. So they could not pinpoint at one point that Mohbad actually died. All of them are taking different time when they noticed Mohbad died. Some said it was in the house. Some said it was in the car. Some said it was in the hospital. How many Mohbad are we talking about? That is when you will know that there is a lot of conspiracy and there are a lot of disparities in their testament. If there were no lies, it now, it was because they are lying. That's why they are horror. Nítorí irọ́ ni. Èkíní ò mọ̀ nǹkan tẹ́kejì sọ. Èkejì ò mọ̀ nǹkan tẹ́kẹta ti sọ. So all of them, they just keep saying different things about same guy. About same guy.
Panicking. At a point, she would get her courage. At a point, she would lose it.
The nurse was panicking at a point. She got her confidence back at a point. So the nurse was on and off. She was not stable. She was not stable. If the nurse was saying the truth, she will always be stable and she will have that confidence. That will show you that a lot of coaching, a lot of scripts have been given to her and she was just trying not to go off the script.
You get? So she was not stable. She was not stable. But when they now took her, she said she and Wunmi were sitting at the front of the car.
The nurse and the Wunmi were at the car. And yet, gbọ́ wípé, ẹ gbà mí o, wọ́n ti pa Mohbad o, nọ́ọ̀sì lógún lábẹ́rẹ́ pa o, nọ́ọ̀sì lógún lábẹ́rẹ́ pa o. Gbọ́ anything lọ́wọ́ Wunmi. Àti ẹ̀gbọ́ kí Wunmi sunkún nínú mọ́tò yẹn. Wunmi ò kẹ́ rárá, kò sunkún, kò ṣe anything. In fact, tètè mọ̀ pé Wunmi gẹ́wà ní mọ́tò. Òun lẹ́bí máa mọ̀ pé ó mọ iṣẹ́ ibi tó ń ti ṣe, ó mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe.
And they said, while they were taking him to the hospital, did you look back to know if he was alive or dead? She said she did not look back because she was not herself. That she was in shock. She was in shock. And while they got to the hospital, they said,
Why would the nurse be in shock? Do you know how many people Feishayo must have treated within 3 years of practicing as auxiliary nurse? Do you know how many people she must have treated within 3 years of practicing as auxiliary nurse? Do you know how many people Feishayo must have administered paracetamol and antitetanus too in Lagos State? Do you know how many of them? And none of them has died. But in Mohbad's case, Mohbad died as a result of paracetamol and anti-tetanus injection. I've never heard it in my life. Someone dying as a result of paracetamol and anti-tetanus injection. How? 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 Somebody that was ill and healthy, according to Wunmi, Wunmi said Mohbad was okay. He was okay before the nurse came. Somebody that was ill and healthy, they just gave him tetanus and paracetamol, and he died. How? How can you prove this medically? Which doctor will come and tell you the pathophysiology of the death of Mohbad? Which doctor? Which doctor in Nigeria will come and tell you that paracetamol could kill Mohbad? And tetanus could kill Mohbad? Which doctor? We are expecting that doctor. We are expecting that doctor. We want to see how doctor will prove it that it was paracetamol and anti-tetanus that Mohbad reacted to and resulted in his death. We are patiently waiting for that doctor to come and justify this miscarriage of justice and these blatant lies being said at Corona today. We are waiting for that doctor. Or maybe you go and bring a pharmacist. You may go and bring pharmacist anyway.
I mean, when she came. And so the cross-examination began by Sanshitu.
Sorry.
When 1 minute. So when she now asked the question, when you got there, what did you see? Bamey and one other Bamey now helped Mohbad. They moved Mohbad to another room. But she made mention of something. She said when she got there in that room, she saw them mopping water before she started administering anything. You get one more Wunmi. So they now asked.
The first time she got there.
When she got there, before she started doing anything at all.
Okay.
When she started doing anything at all, she saw water on the floor. See, Bamey lo mop we. One mop Wunmi alone. Now,
Show me the Avenger.
Omi lo saw.
Omiloso.
Omi lo saw. She saw water on the floor. Whatever, maybe they have washed it, I don't know. But she saw water, they were mopping water. Maybe we don't know, but she saw water. Now, she said when she administered the first injection, the second one, Mohbad threw up, OB. She went to this first, second, third one. When she was about to administer the third one, that he vomited. So the nurse and the wife, one Mulosi bedroom, they took him to the bedroom to can you guys hear me? Because my network is slow. You get?
We can hear you. We can hear you. You're slow, but we can hear you.
Okay. They took him to the toilet. He vomited. So when they brought him back, she noticed that he had goosebumps all over his body. And she knew that this was a reaction. And she said, she now told the wife that this is goosebumps all over. And the wife said that anytime that he took injection, that he always react to injection. And he told the wife that when he knew that he's always reacting to injection, why didn't you tell me? So she and Bamey went out, were looking for a pharmacy, and what they were looking for is actually a drug, an injection that would subsidize the reaction. So they went to the first hospital. She did not see. They went to the second. He said when they got to the second hospital, I think Bamey have been calling back and forth, and they
at first hospital they gave DJ Bamey medical reports that certified that Mohbad was brought in dead. DJ Bamey hid it. So DJ Bamey asked lots of questions to answer concerning the death of Mohbad.
Told Bamey on the phone that he's convulsing. And he was like, shocked, convulsing. So by the time they got back, she saw from a distance how they were carrying him inside the van, inside the car. So a lawyer asked her, when he saw him, was he alive or he was dead? How did they carry him? Or did they carry him like somebody that is about to die? So she could not actually answer that. She was fluctuating. And the truth is this, the nurse was actually panicking. At a point, she would get her courage. At a point, she would lose it. Do you get? So she was not stable. She was not stable. But when they now took her, she said she and Wunmi were sitting at the front of the car. And they said, why they were taking him to the hospital? Did you look back to know if he was alive or dead? She said she did not look back because she was not herself, that she was in shock. She was in shock. And while they got to the hospital, they said, you want to ask me something?
No. Go ahead. I'm not asking any question.
While they got to the hospital, she said he was confirmed dead. And the doctor asked her, what did you do? What did you give him? And she stated this. Now,
when she got to the hospital, she was confirmed dead. So the nurse was also playing the narrative of Wunmi, that it was when she got to the hospital that Mohbad died. Why it has been confirmed, where inule ni Mohbad kú sí. I don't understand who these people think they are. Is it because àwọn ló lè kó olóyè ń ṣe rádaràda yìí ni or what? I don't understand. Nígbà tí wọ́n ti confirm pé inule ni Mohbad kú sí, pé inule ló kú sí, ẹ mọ̀ kó sọ pé èèyàn ti kú, ó ti kú. Téèyàn bá ti kú, bẹ́ẹ̀ ti máa wá ẹni tó máa certify ẹ̀ tó lè máa gbé lọ mọ́túárì ló kù. Gbé lọ sí hospital pé kẹ́ lọ treat ẹ̀. Ẹ tí wá dé hospital ẹni pé wọ́n wá confirm pé ó ti kú. Lẹ́ni tẹ́ mọ̀ pé ó ti kú gangan, ẹ̀yin gẹ́gẹ́ mọ̀ pé ó ti kú sílé. I don't understand. Nǹkan tí nurse àti Wunmi tó fẹ́ sọ ayé dà. Lẹ́ni tí Ìyábọ̀ Òjó confirm pé ilé ló kú sí. Wọ́n ti pè ní 11 o'clock pé Mohbad ó ti convulse o. Lẹ́yìn tí ọ̀sán sọ pé he was in stage 2 nígbà táwọn máa gbé dé second hospital. That is, he was dead 18 hours ago, at least. Okay. The
nurse made mention of something. That she was not the one, because they were trying to emphasize who poured water on Mohbad. Because,
Yes, now, they are transporting a dead body, supported both sides by living bodies. Àwọn méjì ni wọ́n fọwọ́ kọ̀ kú. Wọ́n wá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé òkú yẹn ó ti wà alive. Ẹni tó ti kú, ẹ wá fọwọ́ méjèèjì kọ. Tó ẹ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ra gẹ́tì pósí, kẹ́ gbé sí láti lé. Ẹ wá lọ fọwọ́ kọ dé hospital. Wùmí wá sọ pé wọ́n confirm after 20 minutes pé ó ti kú. Lẹ́yìn tẹ́ mọ̀ pé ó ti kú. Ó ga o. All right. Ó ga.
They were kind of like trying to ask her that, do you know if somebody is going through this, if they pour him or her water, the temperature might rise or might react to something else, or you might lead to something. Because categorically, she is not too learned. What do you expect from a quack nurse?
Why was she lying? Why do you lie if you are speaking the truth? Why would she lie? All right.
When she administered the drug, she made mention, and I quote, she was there. She was the one. She actually literally removed herself from that. She said she did not even pour water at all. She did not pour water. It was Wunmi that poured water, and she still reversed that. Even when she got there, she had already saw them mopping water. And do you understand? So, She now saying that she did not know anything about the water, that when she left that room, Mohbad was alive. Now, the question they asked her again, when you left, does it look like he was going to die or he...
God bless you, woman of inspiration. Pleated, body moved to another room, floor mop, new pressing, brought back as Mohbad. Shikena. That was exactly what they did. That was exactly what they did. Adura was the one that played Mohbad for the fact that Adura was nowhere to be found in that house at that time. Meant only one thing. Adura played Mohbad to deceive the nurse.
He said, no, that Mohbad was just sitting down when she rushed. She and DJ Bamey rushed to get to the pharmacy, and they went to about 2 pharmacies. Now, another question which is, she made mention of Bamey countless times, because Bamey is in the whole scenario. Bamey was the one who called. When she got there, it was there were 4 in the room. 4 of them in the room. Mohbad, Wunmi, Bamey, and the nurse. Adura was even totally out of the picture. Adura was totally out of that picture. And when they asked them,
because Adura was Mohbad now. Adura was the one that played Mohbad. So Adura cannot be in 2 places. Simple as ABCs.
do you even see Adura? She said he saw Adura when they got to the hospital. Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Please, Supreme, maximize it.
No, General said she and Biggie Bamey, Mohbad, and Wunmi were the only one in that room. And she said something that when she even entered the house, she saw baby Liam downstairs. Somebody was carrying him. So, go story. I was cooking, I was making rice, I was doing birthday preparation, was out of it. Now, Mr. Kabiru said something that almost threw the court into our section, that she is saying this based on what the public had quoted to say. The public, am I still audible enough? Now, she's saying this based on what the public had actually quoted had to say. And one of the lawyers stood up, and that was wrong, blah, 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 blah. They quickly interject Mr. Kabiru, because I won't call him a lawyer, Mr. Kabiru.
Only Kabiru, Guru.
That is why I said, Mr. Kabiru, whatever, let him continue. Another powerful question that was asked, based on what we have been listening to in that interview, that it was my father-in-law that said the nurse should be going. The nurse said, and I quote, "I only knew you, Baba Mohbad, on the internet. I did not see him." They repeated that question 3 times. Did you see me? Did you know Mr. Joseph Aloba? She said no. She said no. Now the question is this now. Ask now. Who is lying? Is it Wunmi that is lying that the father-in-law said
He's lying now.
Go? Or it was the nurse? That's why I said whatever that happened in the inquest today, it is a twist of fate, and it's kind of like dramatic. You know why I said it is dramatic? Now, she claimed she left Mohbad in the room with Wunmi, and she left and Bamey to rush to go and get something. Within that moment, what might have happened? And I was opportune to ask 2 questions. And one of the questions that I asked is this.
Well, within that moment, thing happened was Mohbad was swapped back. And Adura stood up from where he was lying. And Mohbad was carried out as a dead man, which he had been since 11th of September 2023. That was what happened when the nurse and DJ Bamey went out. They swapped the real Mohbad back, and Adura stood up and hid somewhere so that the nurse will not come back to recognize him. Because let me tell you, that time the nurse now said she saw Adura at the hospital. That was a moment of panicking for the nurse. The nurse might not even know who she was seeing again. The nurse must have been in panic mode at that time. The nurse will not know who she saw again. That is the truth of the matter.
You saw, how fresh was that wound? Like, you know, all of us, particularly we can. If you see,
Of course. Good question. Good question.
We can actually see, was this wound a day wound, 2 days wound, or 5 days wound? Do you understand? All of us, we can actually. So I asked the nurse, and she paused for a while. She was trying to calculate. She said, the way she saw it, like maybe 2 days. That's what she said. Like maybe like 2 days. Now, I now asked another question, which is this. That moment you left, you said you left the room. You left Wunmi in that room. And he was alive. Did you observe anything when you were leaving? Or did it ever come to your mind? Because to me, I said, that is one step between life and death. Do you ever think maybe while you left, something might have happened? And she said she does not know. And the reason why I asked that question is this. Because I literally want to ask more questions, but I said, no, that's enough. Was there is this second nurse they are calling. Do you understand? There is this second nurse, Nurse Kumi. And this Nurse Kumi, what was her role? What did she do? What was she in the house to do? As in, what is her own role? But they didn't allow me to ask, kind of like, so that being said. Now, Mr. Kabiru and Sanshitu were trying to having this banter back and forth. And you know the funny part of it is this. If me, I have somebody like that lawyer Kabiru, I swear down. Me.
Please don't analyze. Kabiru is a product of Falano and Falano. Continue.
Now, why it was so funny when what Mr. Kabiru was trying to establish is this. When you got there, why didn't you tell them to take Mo to the hospital? And the nurse made mention of something. She said if she had knew that wound she's coming to treat was not that much, that she would not go there, according to what she said.
Okay.
That the
wound was not that much.
They didn't tell the nurse now. They intentionally not tell the nurse anything said to her. So the nurse walked into that saga unknowingly. They framed her up at that instant. And that was why some people said they visited the nurse at the detention. And the nurse said, Wunmi set me up. So at that moment, when the nurse walked into that house and everything that happened to that house, it was a setup. At the moment that Iya nurse came out and was calling everybody, it was still a setup. But as soon as the nurse was bailed, the game changed. Then it became a deal. As soon as the nurse was bailed from that detention, the whole thing became a negotiation. And it became a deal. And she was persuaded. She was lured by finances, by promises to enter into a negotiation to take a fall for Wunmi. You will see, even some of the talk of the nurse was still a reflection of discrepancy with what Wunmi has been saying. Because the nurse is facing a reality. The nurse is now facing a reality. So she was trying to backtrack. She was trying to back out. But she will also remember the deal. And she will come back to the line. That's why she had been on and off.
Like, it is just a mere court.
Temi's platform, go ahead.
So she was describing, she was describing that wound, what she saw it was a small cut, and the actress might have entered the wound. Did she examine the wound? And she said she did.
And there was no broken glass inside.
And was she lying? I don't know. But what we listen to today at the inquest is another twist of fate. The nurse told us categorically while she was there. Wunmi even asked her, what injection is this? She said it. Now Wunmi even asked that. Now when she was about to administer the tetanus injection, he said, this is, what is he said, tetanus injection? He said, that she knows about it, that tetanus injection that they used to give patients, blah, 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 blah. So there was exchange of words, and he even said, while even Mo was even communicating with him also. Which one are you giving me? This is paracetamol. I think it was the paracetamol that she was administering before he started throwing up. And she said,
you see, it was the paracetamol that she administered before Mo started throwing up. Nibolotin Jebe.
The car with her. She said no, she did not know anybody. It was only her and Wunmi.
Of the real Mohbad. Those were the boys that were with the real Mohbad that had been killed before the nurse got there. They were nowhere to be found in that house. So it was only when they carried the real Mohbad, the dead one, into the car that those boys appeared in the picture in the car. Where were they? Why did they rush Mohbad? Why did they join Wunmi to carry Mohbad to the room? Why was it only DJ Bamey, the nurse, Wunmi, and Mohbad that were seen in that house when the nurse got there? Where were those two boys? So they were with the dead body of Mohbad in one room, waiting for the right time to swap Mohbad with Adura. It was all conspiracy. Total conspiracy. Room with the dead. God bless you, Tony. Them.
They came down, carried bike. Maybe they wanted to carry bike, but she was quickly interjected. She didn't make that full statement on either they carried bike or they did not carry bike. But she was saying he was put on the bike. Well, maybe she now said they got to the hospital with bike. Oh, I don't know. But she never. She.
MS.
But she doesn't know who did the embalmment. She did not know. That every other thing, she was just staying back. She was just in shock, and people were there, a lot of people. And she said that day she saw the mother. That the mother was there. Yeah, she saw the mother.
Where?
Wait, asking if she knew Joseph Aloba or any of the relatives. She said no, that she does not know Joseph Aloba. But she saw the mother. She saw the mother outside.
Okay, outside.
Yeah, outside, not inside. Outside. But she was just trying to say that Joseph Aloba. So narrative, it was my father-in-law that said they should take the father-in-law that said she should go was abolished. Another question is this. They said something about the doctor's report, that who collected it. She said she just saw that they gave a brown envelope, and it was DJ Bamey that collected the doctor's report. And they asked another question, was Darosha there? She said no, Darosha met them at the first hospital. Darosha never witnessed anything. He met them at the first hospital.
Bamey collected doctor's reports.
Bamey had surfaced more than 1,000 times in this Buhaha of today. I think like, okay, one of the lawyers was saying, like me now, I'm a lawyer, and if I have a client and they kind of like they issue a judgment, I would want to know what is inside that statement, that judgment. Why didn't you take to actually know what was actually inside that statement? And she said she did not because she was still in shock. She was confused, but it was Bamey that collected.
That because when they were cross-examining her, the magistrate said she was going to hands off, not interjecting anyone. She will allow the learner seal, the lawyers, the barristers there. She will allow them to make everything that they needed to make because she doesn't want anyone accusing her wrongly. She said that. I said we should give it to her again. She is wonderful. The Honorable Court, how you met Mohbad, alive or not? She said yes, alive. Okay, and now, would you want to tell us what transpired? She began. she now began to talk about who gave you information about most state of health. She mentioned DJ Bamey because DJ Bamey called her eventually and was able to say that Mohbad had a curse, aside from the one that spending attested the previous day. So it went on to what Sanshitu was able to prove to her was that, do you know that every treatment that you gave her, there can be a reaction to them? And Sanshitu, let me call him Dr. Shitu, because that will stick more to my mouth. Dr. Shitu told her emphatically that everything that you gave Mohbad had a side effect. Are you aware? She said she did not know. And Dr. Shitu began to mention them, like headache, like dizziness, like vomiting, if all of those came wrongly administered. And she said she did not know. So I don't want to bore us with details, but what she gave in Mohbad, she said, was tetanus and paracetamol. But when she gave one of the injection, suddenly Mohbad sprang up, wanting to vomit, and they followed him to the toilet. He vomited and came back to sit on the floor. That's why I said it's still puzzling me. But I'm not the magistrate. Neither am I the barristers, the legal counsels that were there that would cross-examine her. So I sat and we were looking. And they were referring to paragraph this, paragraph that, because they began to say there could be side effects to everything that was administered. And of course, she said yes. So he said the wife then took him to the bathroom and poured water. That was where the question became like poured water, because they refer to paragraph 28 of the nurse's testament. It was established that this nurse, her qualification is just O levels. O levels. And where did she have her training as a nurse? At Cornerstone Hospital. That was where she mentioned. How long was the training? She had it from 2014 to 2017. And what else was asked? What is her work experience? She said she had worked at one hospital for just 1 year, and she's gone ahead to do whatever thing she wanted to be doing. So, when the water was poured, he said, do you know when you pour water repeatedly, it can cause physical effect? To which she answered, yes. No, I'm the one that used that word. That he said he wanted, he was taking, to the toilet, to the bathroom, where he vomited. Do you understand? And came back and sat. Okay. So, now, after that, the restroom, God bless you. He said she gave an intravenous injection, and when she saw the reaction, she pulled out the injection and was running to go and buy the antidote, which she called hydrocort injection. So herself and DJ Bamey went and left a still living Mohbad with Wunmi, because they had to repeatedly ask her, how many of you were there? She said only 4. Mention them. Ayo, the DJ person, meaning that she did not know him. Myself, that's Feishayo, his wife and the husband. So she still maintained that they were 4. She still maintained that they were 4. So somebody, so they both left the house. They got to the first pharmacy. They didn't get an hydrocort injection. The reason why they had to rush out to go, now I will answer that. Adura and Bamey, I will answer that. In all of the witness of Feishayo, Adura was not there until the hospital. Adura was not in the house until the hospital. So that's why I said it puzzled me as well. We will get, if that girl actually did not lie, then there is more to this. There is more to this. You know, so, I don't want to jump in because I took a long book and I wrote over 4 pages. So I'll be taking it one by one. I'm at the point of where herself and DJ Bamey went to look for an hydrocort injection. At the first pharmacy, they didn't get. So they moved on. While they were going, somebody called DJ Bamey and said Mohbad is convulsing. She said at that point, she had to tell them that they should arrange for him to be taken to the hospital. So while they were going back home, they already met Mohbad being carried, and they asked, in what position? Assisted on both sides or like a baby? She said like a baby. So meaning that Mohbad was carried, lying prostrate into the car. Who were there in the car? She did not know. Where were you sitting? She was in front with Wunmi. And when they were going, she said that they met traffic. I said, I am apprehensive. From Mohbad's house to the main gate, traffic. I don't know, and I am not going to pry further. In the occasion analysis, I'm a secretary by training, and my own is to read out what I have written down. She said there was heavy presence of traffic, and they had to bring Mohbad down from the car on a bike. By the time they got to the first hospital, which name she did not know, Mohbad was already dead. I'm apprehensive. Did you get? I'm a idiot. Yes, I'm a. So don't be apprehensive. We will get there. So Mohbad was already dead. Who issued the first? Who issued the death certificate? It was the first hospital, according to her. So they now took us to paragraph 25. If the wife had informed you, because she was like, sir, when Dr. Shitu was cross-examining her, Dr. Shitu said, do you know that ordinarily a diagnosis should be carried out on a patient before any treatment can be administered? She said, yes. So what did you now do? There was no diagnosis, and you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. She admitted, yes, that she took it upon herself that she did not. Because I can't jeopardize my life for someone. Possible. So she said that she administered without a diagnosis. And she did not know whether there was going to be a reaction. I mean, when they were asking, are you aware that all of this that you administer can bring about a reaction? She said she's not aware. Because, well, she's not qualified, a nurse. Okay, so let's move on. In paragraph 25 of our own testament, where which they were referring to. If the wife had informed you, I noticed that she wasn't mentioning Wunmi. I am not causing panic. I'm a child of God, I won't lie. Only the people that are there. And you said, therefore, DJ Bamey was there. You are there. Mohbad was there and his wife. And you say the people that are there. You know, mo yeto sọ fún o. Mi ò mọ̀ o. Èmi ò ní gbà kó ní kúkú tèmi. So, it's now the cross-examination continued. If the wife had informed you of the injection, would you have given? She said no. Who do you blame for the death of Mohbad? She said his wife. Okay, I take that. She said his wife. Okay, they move on. Now, it now went on to other prosecuting counsels. And they began to, if I mention them, I'm the one that know them. You don't know. One of them said, who did you come to treat? And what did you come to treat? She said she came to treat Mohbad and came to treat a court. How do you see the court? Very, very small. That was what she said. Another person went on and asked that, okay, Abiodun Kolawole, that's the female, the one that intercepted Cynthia and Abosede in June when they came, June of 2023. 2024, when they came, she asked, what's your qualification? She answered. How many years were you trained? She answered. And when you get to a patient, what should you want to know? She said a medical history. So what history of Mohbad did you have? Ben. Ongo knew. And somebody did well by asking, how do you know spending? I think it is still Abiodun Kolawole. She said it was just by referral, which was good, by referral. Okay, you see, and the person went on to ask that when you were administering treatment, was spending there, to which she gave a vehement no, that spending was not there. Mokoju saying was spending, so Sam Larry's lawyer came and gave another angle to the cross-examination. What did he ask? He said, truly, you have admitted that you did it, there wasn't a diagnosis, but then a physical examination of a patient can be taken as a diagnosis. To which she said yes. So what did you now physically see? She said she saw a physically weak Mohbad assisted by DJ Bamey. I take that as one. So my own take, what happened on the 11th? That gap is still open. What happened on the 11th is still open. If the nurse met Mohbad alive, then what happened on the 11th? So we move on. The lawyer said, you spoke, it was in your testament that there was water in the room of Mohbad. Was it raining? She said it was raining. Was it raining when you were treating him? She said no. Was the house leaking? She said no. How did water get there? I don't know. Yeah, yes. Mongo comment, but me lay down. I said, I am not, what will I call myself? An investigative journalist. I studied secretarial administration in 1997. So definitely, I may not be your best analyst, but I am a secretary that can take details, and I've taken this today. So we have moved to the part of there was water in the room. So Aromalano now faced her and said, do you know that the Midwife Association of Nigeria has disqualified you as one of them? Are you an auxiliary nurse? She said yes. You that has been disqualified and you're still answering, eventually she said it was because of the incidents of Mohbad that she was disqualified. So as of today, I am not an auxiliary nurse. She answered that. Then the barrister Molano helped the cause of justice because we all had it. When Cynthia Wunmi went on the social media space with Chude, with the TVC crew, with the BBC PJ, BBC in Yoruba, with whoever that she went with, arise and said, it was Joseph Oluwabami Waloba that said the North should go. And Barrister Romalaran asked, do you know Joseph Oluwabami Waloba? She was like, who is that? Mohbad's father. I don't know him. Can I clap for Jesus? She said, I don't know him. I've not seen him. And Cynthia said, Cynthia, bó ṣe máa kú re mo fẹ́ mọ̀ tìrantìran. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn bí mo ṣe gbọ́ ẹ̀mí mi gbóná. Tó bá jẹ́ pé mo rí Cynthia máa gàgé ẹ̀ lọ́rùn. Ìtàlọ́ba bá ṣe tó gbọmọ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin pátápátá Yorùbá lọ̀rọ̀ yín gbà wọ́n ẹ̀ fi òyìnbó ṣẹ́ irú èpè wọ́n fi òyìnbó sọ. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tó jẹ́ ibẹ̀ ẹ̀yin Cynthia lẹ́wà bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ẹgbẹ̀rún ẹ máa gbé ọmọ sinmi. Ọmọ ìhòhò lẹ máa wọnú ibojì mo tún sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ìmọ̀ tálábà ṣe fún yín o. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tó jẹ́ wípé ẹ wà ní orí justice for Mohbad tẹ bá jí láàárọ̀ orin alọ́ba ló wà lẹ́nu yín. Tẹ bá sùn orin alọ́ba ló wà lẹ́nu yín. Tẹ bá ń jẹun orin alọ́ba ló wà lẹ́nu yín tí kì í sì ṣe orin rere tó jẹ́ wípé àfi kẹ́ ẹ máa kẹ́gàn ẹ̀ àfi kẹ́ ẹ máa fà á. Tí ọ̀run bá ń jẹ́ ọ̀run tí ayé bá ń jẹ́ ayé. Tí Jésù Kristi bá kú tó bá jíǹde tó jẹ́ pé òun nìkan làkọsílẹ̀ wà fún pé ó kú ó jíǹde odindi ọmọ ológo fò mọ́lẹ̀ ó fò sọ́lẹ̀ mọ́ èèyàn lọ́wọ́ àánú ọ̀dẹ̀ ṣe yín ẹ̀dẹ̀ fi ìmọ̀kan ẹ fi ń da ìgbésí ayé mu bàbá Mohbad rú bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ẹgbẹ̀gbẹ̀rún wọ́n ṣẹ̀sí ni lórúkọ Jésù wọ́n kú mọ́ yín lójú ìhòòhò wọnú ibojì. Gbogbo yín pátápátá bí sí ìbá jẹ́ èèyàn Ọlọ́run nìkan ló kù àfi tó bá jẹ́ pé òróró ò bá sí lórí mi nìkan ló kù I say it ẹ máa retí bẹ́ẹ̀ pọ́gọ́rùn-ún ọdún láyé ẹ máa ráre wọnú ibojì ni lórúkọ Jésù gbogbo yín ọmọ kò ní kù lọ́dẹ̀dẹ̀ yín. I met a living person, and the person had died. I did not see anything sober in our. Yeah, I didn't see. What brought about the narratives? What brought about the narrative? What killed Mohbad? It was ear infection. What killed Mohbad? It was the nurse. What killed Mohbad? It was prime boy. What killed Mohbad? It was this. What happened? What happened? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? So there is still an 11th event.
Welcome back. I am very sure that your thought is kind of centered on certain questions. Well, I don't think Spending can absolve himself. I don't think he can get out of this with all of this drama. I mean, he will be appearing at the inquest and he will also be saying his own. He was not given the opportunity to say whatever. Now it will be coming. The next inquest is coming ASAP. This month is going to be fire for fire. And I guess to finally balance it up, the pathologist who performed the private autopsy will be in attendance. He will be able to give answers. But it seems a lot of people are not really expecting anything worth it coming from the pathologist. But you might be in for a shocker. Let us file that somewhere. You might be in for a shocker, but people do not really have hope on it. They believe that since Mohbad has been kept for too long, there is a huge possibility that results that are needed will not be gotten. And as per the, it is strange. This is strange, very strange. So you heard all of the contradictions here and there. The nurse said, in fact, before the nurse came, we already found contradiction in the statement of every other person apart from Cynthia. every other person that spoke, we found contradictions in it, in whatever they said. Then with Cynthia, now more contradiction. The contradiction came when she appeared on national TV. She said a lot of things that did not add up. So every other person that spoke at the inquest, every of them, all of them, apart from the main suspect, Cynthia, all of them contradicted each other. Combining it with that of Cynthia, it became explosive. The contradiction was bigger than, but now with the nurse, light has been shed in the dark. That darkness, light has been shed into it. I don't know if the nurse will be brought in again, but as it is, the nurse already dropped and clarified some of the foolish utterances of Cynthia, lies of Cynthia, and the nurse said she administered 2 medication, and the nurse said Cynthia was there. There is nothing like she was cooking fried rice. Let's say she was even making the fried rice. But according to the nurse, no, Cynthia was there. She was there when all of this, and I had told that you should have given me heads up on the reaction of Mohbad, that he reacts to certain medication. And I think the tetanus is what he reacted to, because that's what we heard, that I gave him tetanus and pain reliever. That's it, paracetamol, and he started reacting. Is there something else like an antibiotics that was administered also to Mohbad? Now, the nurse said Mohbad was reacting, like I observed goosebumps. So I felt, oh, something is in this that is not agreeing with the body of this man. Let me quickly go and get something to calm what I've administered to him, something to neutralize what I've administered to him. And before they could, she probably didn't come from that particular area. So she went with someone. They were looking for the closest. And from what we heard, there is a closer place to the hospital, to Mohbad's house. The hospital, I don't know if that hospital will be willing to sell to the nurse what she was requesting for. And I'm kind of wondering, why didn't the nurse, she was asked, why didn't you at that time quickly want to take Mohbad where Mohbad needs to be taken to? You heard all. Cynthia cannot be, she can't be removed from this. She can't be absolved from this one. She's complicit. She's part of it. You did not force him to the hospital. You didn't take him to the hospital. And the talk about when Mohbad died, you heard what the nurse said. The nurse said, from afar, I saw that they were moving him, because they said he was convulsing. So I saw that they were moving him inside of the car or automobile. Let's say automobile. I don't know if it's a car or SUV. They put him in a vehicle. That's better. She saw that from afar. So she's not sure what state Mohbad was at that time. They all moved together. And there is something strange about this whole story. The nurse said she was in the front with Mohbad and with Cynthia. He didn't look back. You are a nurse, right? You didn't look back at the patient like, let me see. He said, let's quickly rush it. Just okay. She said she started panicking. Don't forget that this is not a trained nurse. We're just calling her nurse to give us context, an identifier, something like that, an identifier. She's not a nurse. She's not really a nurse, but we have thousands, if not up to 1 million of these people all over Nigeria. This thing started some 25 years ago. Auxiliary nurses started some 25 years ago. It started creeping in slowly. Auxiliary nurses, are they supposed to help nurses, real nurses? But when we started having this influx of or spring up of some clinics and maternity, anyway, it is what it is. Regardless of what I'm saying, we still have them in excess, and there are a lot of people, even right now as I'm speaking, someone might have drip connected to their arm, and it is from this auxiliary nurse, because they cannot afford to go to a proper hospital, and all of this costs a lot of money. Many people don't have, in fact, people don't have health insurance. Many I will say 80% do not have health insurance. They cannot even afford. They're not in that to. But yeah, we have general hospitals. But in this case of Mohbad, it's a serious matter. So the nurse said she didn't look back at Mohbad. She did not even care to look to see if Mohbad was alive or not alive. They were on their way to the hospital. That's a part. That part is a bit unclear. Like, they quickly. She saw them from afar. They drove down to where they were, and they quickly all jumped into the car and they started moving. Like, let's just. And she's like, God help me. What happened? My God, this is unbelievable. Her heart was racing, her mind here and there. So they got to the hospital. After the whole drama of there was traffic or no traffic, they got there. She was quizzed by the doctors or nurses there. What did you administer to him? This is what I administered. This, oh man, this guy is gone. What you guys brought here is not alive. What you guys brought to our hospital is not breathing. Now, Cynthia wants us to believe that Mohbad was alive, Mohbad was fine. She can even come to tell us that I asked him now, he said he's feeling cold when we arrived at the hospital. So how can they tell me that, that girl, she's something else. She's something else. She has lied a lot. Now, about the papers, doctor's report, the certified Mohbad brought in unalive. PID. You heard the DJ Bamey. The Bamey guy is the one that was given. So, are we going to say Bamey was not there at the hospital, or Cynthia was not aware that a report was given? Or when they got to the that Bamey has been mentioned several times, and we heard that he's somewhere, and I also heard from the DJ Bamey guy. He said a lot of things like he cares less. It's like, he's feeling like he's a rugged man. He said that Mohbad, they will not blah blah blah. That Mohbad, he will not. That Mohbad, he won't. That Mohbad is this and that. He said a lot of things about Mohbad that I heard, and I wondered why he said these things, such as we are the ones that is we are this, we are that. He said a lot of things that people held on to, and they are like, okay, we are keeping tab of this for future references. When the time comes, when the opportunity comes for us to review it, we will review all. And now we are reviewing it. More light must be shed by DJ Bamey. And I'm also hearing that Damola or DJ Bamey, they were the ones that quickly ran down. This coming from spending. All these guys are liars, wicked people. When you're around, this life is full of wickedness. The only thing you can trust is your brain, your mind, your intuition. Every other, forget it. Forget it. You can only trust yourself. Any other, forget it. You can only trust yourself. If you trust in whoever it is out there around you, friends and family. I know it's a difficult thing to live your life without trusting someone. It's a difficult thing. It is complex. A lot of people cannot. Like, I just have to rely on someone. I just have to believe someone. No, you can't. You have to live your life with, you cannot lose guard. You have to apply it doesn't matter if it is girlfriend, particularly if you are in a relationship where conflict exists, and you still do not want to leave the relationship. You guys are like, okay, maybe sometimes I make mistakes too. Oh, I'm not perfect. We are not perfect. Any relationship that has conflict in it, argument, chaos, be careful. Be careful. Anything can happen to you. Lies upon lies. Well, it is what it is. Unfortunately, Mohbad is not alive to say his own part, what happened to him. And you heard what one of our guests said, that Adura is part of this conspiracy. If the nurse said, no, I didn't say Adura there, let us now connect it to what Adura said. Where was Adura? Where was Adura? Did he leave home when they got back? Like he left home and went to do whatever he wants to do. Where is Adura, the person that was used? And later, these people are very terrible people. Particularly if Cynthia have given them pekus. Like, seriously. Don't forget something put in Mohbad's food to make him sleep so that she can give. And that girl, she's so worldly. She's so worldly. So imagine Adura agreeing to pose like, I am the nurse. The nurse, I am the patient. It's a very bitter pill to swallow. In as much as my mind does not want to accept it. Like, no, it's not possible. How can Adura now pretend like I am Mohbad so the nurse can administer those medication? Then, who is it Adura that had goose pimple? And the nurse said, okay, let me quickly go and get something. And by the time the nurse came by, they had replaced him with Mohbad and all of that. It's a very bitter pill to swallow. I don't want to accept that. I don't want to agree to that because it does not connect. But having looked at the story written in the scriptures of Christians, I'm like, if Abel and Cain can, one brother unaliving the other, this one is nothing. It is because we still want to retain our sanity. We still want to believe that having a brother, having a sister, father, mother, cousins, we want to believe that it is binding. But we've seen even fathers or mothers do terrible things to their children, and children do terrible things to their parents. And it is still there in the scriptures of Christians, pointing to the same. That when a certain time comes, human beings will be lovers of themselves, selfish. That children will turn against their mom. They will turn against their father. Like, who are you? They can do anything. And parents too can do and undo to their children. So, somehow, I just want to kind of be in between of this. Not agreeing totally that Adura did that. Although we are seeing his quietness, silence as something eerie. It is strange. It is scary. We are seeing all of it. So one cannot but say, yeah, who knows, maybe he's jealous of his brother. It can be like the story of Cain and Abel. And he's like, I will take all the shoes. After all, I will take all the things. I will take everything. It is so sad. I don't know what your thoughts are as regards this one. As you can, if you hear from our guests, they have said a lot of things. They have issued what has to be issued on who it has to be issued upon. And the struggle still continues. We will be getting more clarity, and of course, we'll be here until that justice is gotten. Drop your comments, like and share. See you in the next update.